Hello, Laker fans. My name is Kobe Sato, and welcome to the Laker Holics live postgame podcast. You can join us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Well, let's get right into it. So the Lakers lost at Crypto.com Arena tonight from downtown Los Angeles with a final score of 130 to 116. The Jazz came into this game the fifth seed in the Western Conference. Big surprise so far in the to begin the season. The Lakers haven't played a team under 500 yet this season. The Lakers now have gone 2-3 at home, 0-3 on the road. I think the Lakers really lost this game in the second quarter and in the first half. The Lakers played well offensively. Within the first half alone, they had 62 points in the half, shooting 54.5% from the field, 7 of 16 from threes. They didn't really get much stops down the stretch in the first half. Like I said, when the Lakers blew this game, Utah hit 31 of 35 field goals, which is 60.8% from the field, and 9 of 17 from threes, including 5 straight in the second quarter towards 75 points. Also, former Laker Jordan Clarkson, he definitely killed the Lakers in the third quarter tonight. Whenever the Lakers will go on a run and they go on like a 10-0 or 6-0 run, they would go down, bring the lead down to 8 points, and then the Jazz would always respond with a 3 out of a timeout to put the lead back up into double digits. For the most part, back up to like 12 points. Not very impressed from production wise today. What I saw from LeBron James, very inefficient game from him. You can definitely tell something's been wrong with him the last couple of games. He's been having ankle issues, and on all of his jump shots today, they all look short. So definitely not a good sign for the Lakers in that regard. But Anthony Davis did have a great game. Let me go ahead and pull up his stats for you guys real quick. Let's pull it up. Okay. So, as you could see here for the Lakers, AD had 22 points with 35 minutes. He had 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Decent game from him tonight. He shot 9 for 17. Not that efficient from the floor, but he was probably the most impactful person other than Russell Westbrook on the floor tonight. He's played four straight good games coming off the bench for the Lakers. He played 29 minutes tonight, had 28 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, shot 9 for 14 from the field. He went 3 for 5 from the three-point line tonight, which is really good for Russell Westbrook. He was 3 for 3 out of point for 3-point shots, and he was 5 for 5 from the field until he missed a shot. So definitely looked what I saw tonight from Russ in terms of production. He was a -1. The highest plus minus on the Lakers tonight was Patrick Beverley with 5 points, 5 rebounds. But like most Laker fans have seen this season, Patrick Beverley hasn't really been producing that well. But looking at the Lakers stats for tonight, they shot 48% from the field, so not a bad shooting night from them. They shot 42% from the three-point line, and the Lakers came into this game dead last in terms of three-point percentage. Let's see if the Lakers are still currently last in three-point percentage. They probably are. Let's see. Yeah, they're still last at 26.7% in field goal percentage, so a better game for sure in terms of shooting tonight for the Lakers. Shot the free throws wasn't that too much of a problem tonight. They shot 25 for 28. Turnovers, they had 11. They had 8 within the first half. Again, I believe in the first half is where they lost the game. Just having 8 turnovers for the first half that's not great. And they gave up 70 points within the first half. So that's way too much points to start out the game for the Lakers, and to have to come back from that the whole game, that's just way too much. They gave up 40 points in the first quarter, and then they give up 35 in the second. So that's 75 points actually they gave up in the first half, not 70 points. So definitely need to clean that up for the Lakers, who had a pretty tough schedule to to start off the season. Again, they haven't came into a game where the opponent has been under 500. The Lakers played the Warriors, the Clippers, the Blazers, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Pelicans, and the defense didn't look as bad as it did tonight playing those other teams. So possibly just a off night defensively for the Lakers. Definitely look for them to bounce back next game against Cleveland on Sunday. Make sure to catch that game at 12:30. I'll also be going live post game for that. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about LeBron James for a minute. Not really liking what I've been seeing from him lately. Again with his left ankle sprain. Tonight he played 34 minutes. He had 17 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. He shot 7 from 19 from the field, 3 for 5 from the free throw line. He was 0 for 5 for 3 pointers. He had 1 block, 3 turnovers, and yeah, he was negative 11 from the field, shooting 60%. So in terms of free throws. Not a great game from him. I feel like we've been having a lot of empty possessions with the ball in LeBron's hand. I feel like every time he has the ball, he just kind of roams around the floor, and then they don't really get a good shot out of that. There's no spacing, there's no movement, there's not really any off-ball movement by LeBron. So you could definitely tell something's wrong with him. And when Russell Westbrook is the best player on the team with a team that has not Russell Westbrook, sorry, LeBron James and Anthony Davis on it, you need Anthony Davis to be the number one option for you to be winning games. It's great that Russell Westbrook is starting to produce for the Lakers, but at the same time, he can't be our best player for us to be winning games. And that showed tonight because Russell Westbrook was by far the best player on the Laker roster tonight. So definitely want to see some improvement from LeBron there. Whether if he needs to take some rest or I don't know what he needs to do, but over the next couple of days, maybe he doesn't practice with the team. I don't know, but something needs to change with him, and whether if it's rest or maybe just the type of shots he's getting. I don't like the mid-range jumpers that I've been seeing from him. That his turnaround jumpers. I understand that when he's driving the ball right now, he's not really getting any foul calls for him, but I mean, he's been in the league for 20 years. He has to fight through that. It's us Laker fans are used to Shaquille O'Neal always going down the lane and getting hacked and not getting any calls fouled or any calls for him. So definitely an adjustment that LeBron is gonna have to get used to for sure. And within the last couple of days, he just looks like he hasn't had his legs under him. All his jumpers have been pretty short. So um, definitely want to see more from him regarding that. Utah is now third in the Western Conference. So taking a live look at the standings right now. Let me go ahead and pull that back up for you guys who are watching on YouTube and on Facebook. So here's the current standings. This is the Eastern Conference. Pull it up on mine. Sorry. Okay, so the Blazers are currently ranked first. They just had a big win over Phoenix tonight. At the buzzer. Again, Jazz went up to third place. They're now 6-3, tied with the Grizzlies. So yeah, great win for them. The Lakers now are down to 13th place. They're currently these aren't updated because the Lakers are 2-6, not 2-5. But yeah, so not a great game from them for sure. Looking at the stats again for the Lakers tonight, they really got um, demoralized in assists tonight, 31-21. Just the way that Utah moves the ball and their team play. Um, it's crazy. This team just got assembled just like the Lakers kind of did. So one of the Lakers' main excuses this season is oh, it's a new roster. But the main core of Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and AD are still together. Even though they haven't really been able to play that much last season, and they're starting to figure things out right now. For the Jazz, who's supposed to be a tanking team, they're also a new team, and they're playing really well. And you got to give it up for the power forward that they have. He's really been putting in work for them, and the Lakers couldn't stop him tonight. Referring to what's his name? To Markkinen. He had 27 points tonight with 33 minutes, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. He shot 9 for 17 from the field. Again, I felt like every time the Lakers cut the lead to single digits with the 8-point game, they would always come out with a 3 and move the score back up to 12. So definitely not ideal from what you saw from the Lakers tonight. The Lakers just didn't have size on them either. With Olynyk, the other center they had out there, I believe Kessler, just a really big body. He only played 11 minutes, but he had a pretty effective 11 minutes. He had 8 points, 4 rebounds. He was 4 for 5 from the field. So definitely a big game from him, I thought, offensively and defensively, in terms of just his presence on the floor. But yeah, I don't know, Laker fans. I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now from not Russell Westbrook, from LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I just feel like with them being 1A and 1B on this team, they have to be the ones that are stepping up more on the floor. Looking at the current standing or the current stats right now for the Lakers. The Lakers still rank first in pace at 103.5 a game. Maybe this pace is too fast for LeBron, in his 27th season, age 37. Maybe just the way they're playing, going up and down the whole game, maybe it's taking a toll on LeBron already, and who knows, maybe throughout the season you see them slow it down a bit, but I don't know if that'll happen. I don't know if it's just because of injury or what, or maybe he's still sick, with like he talked about last post game. We'll see what he says coming up when he talks at the presser following the Lakers loss to the Utah Jazz, with the final score again of 130 to 116. The Lakers played the Cleveland Cavaliers next with Donovan Mitchell. They've been playing really well lately. Let me see. I have another page of them. Donovan Mitchell's been having a really good year so far. It's still early in the year, with 7 games played, but right now he's averaging 31 points a game off 39 minutes. So, and they have Jarrett Allen, who made the All-Star team last year for the first time. So, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game next game for sure, against a young Cleveland team who likes to run also, just like the Lakers do. So hopefully they pick it back up defensively. I didn't really like the matchup tonight in terms of who was guarding Marketing. I feel like Damian Jones or Wenyen Gabriel, they should have probably given them a couple more minutes tonight in trying to contain Marketing. But now at the press conference, we currently have Russell Westbrook. So let's take you over to him right now.
They just started off playing a lot faster than us, step slow. And it showed, we tried to pick it up in the second half, but, put ourselves in a bad position early.
Russ, you had that stretch in the third, had the alley-oop and the three-pointer, and you were at the free throw line. There were some fans chanting MVP for you. Did that moment in this building have any significance for you to kind of hear just how much the fans have come behind you in the last week or so?
Honestly, I'm just grateful and blessed, man. I give all my thanks and all my credit to the men above for allowing me to be able to go out and compete. Good games, bad games, off nights, good nights. And I'll just let my play and my work speak for itself.
There's been a bunch of talk, Russ, about as a group, needing the offense to catch up to the defense, and the defense had been pretty solid through the first 7 games. And you mentioned the speed of things, but do you think anything had to do with the shift in focus of we got to get our offense going, that maybe some of the defensive habits slipped?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I haven't even heard that commentary, at least from us internally. So I'm not sure why it was tonight, but it's the NBA, man. 82 games. Sometimes there will be times you have some slippage, and you can be beat on any given night, and that's a good ball club.
Russ, to kind of elaborate on Utah, what did you make of them? They were a team that entered the season without maybe a lot of expectations. What did you think of seeing them? First team in the West to 7 wins.
They play hard, play together. You can see that with their group and their work and their competitive spirit and nature shows.
Russ, how you doing? Crystal, nice to meet you. Right over here. Hey. So I'm sure you don't believe in moral victories, but you were dynamic as soon as you hit the hardwood. Is there anything that you can take away from that?
Just constantly keep bringing what I know how to do, and not just play basketball with a competitive fire and spirit, and let my energy kind of be contagious. Try the best way I can to be able to come in and be effective some way, somehow, and I continue doing that, and put us in the right position.
That was Russell Westbrook following post-game to the Lakers' loss to the Utah Jazz. Russell Westbrook on the Lakers this season is +5. The Lakers are +5 with Russ on the floor, and they're -47 with Russ off the floor this season so far. So definitely Russ is making an impact on the floor, regardless if he's playing well or not. Especially the last 4 games with him coming off the bench. It's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers do in terms of finding more depth, in terms of down low in the paint to help out Anthony Davis. Just for an example of tonight with the bigs that Utah has, it was just too much for the Lakers and for Anthony Davis to guard up on. There was times where LeBron had to guard their center too. So I definitely don't want to see that moving forward, especially talking about LeBron and the Lakers having the #1 pace, and with the Lakers focusing on defense this year. I feel like LeBron is just you're gonna wear him out, to be honest. That's what I think is gonna happen. And in his 20th season, you can't be pushing him that much. It's giving me kind of 2016 or 2012 vibes with Kobe Bryant, where Kobe was just putting the team on his back the whole time, and eventually against the Warriors, he tore his Achilles. So they definitely got to be careful with overusing LeBron for sure. So speaking of Laker bigs tonight, someone who's out in the media and rumored to be a Laker. Speaking of Miles Turner, he had 16 points and 3 blocks tonight. So just a little Indiana watch, since I know that Indiana is the main team that most people are talking about the Lakers making a trade for, whether if that's still Russell Westbrook or not. Some people are now speaking of maybe possibly trading Patrick Beverley, who is currently making $15 million this year, and it's kind of sad. He's not very producing the way that we've been wanting him to. But now at the presser, we have Darvin Ham speaking.
To get it to be that way, when you want to defend at a high level night in and night out, it's not comfortable, but it's fun. It has to be fun. You have to enjoy getting stops, holding teams to one possession, rebounding the ball, getting hits, whether you retrieve the ball or not. Just the little things of the game. Keeping the ball in front of you, getting down in the stance, sprinting back in transition. We have unfortunately, a huge laundry list of things we can show them, that we're going to show them tomorrow. And so it's just, it's the first game where I felt like we weren't there defensively.
And then you mentioned you're going to go through some of the tape defensively, but offensively, AD only had, I think, 4 shots in the second half. Utah, not the biggest team in terms of rim protection. Was there anything you saw offensively about the way the ball was moving and how they could have gone different?
I mean, just the same old things, man. Our running habits have to be intact. We have to play with the pass. And you got to, there's got to be a hunger there to really understand that we want to apply pressure in the paint. We want to live in the paint, be it post-ups, drives, what have you, screen and rolls, hitting the pocket pass. We have to live and love the paint, live in and love the paint. But, sometimes, you're going to have those nights where the ball's not necessarily finding you as it should, but the offense I'm not worried about. We had 60,000 points in our locker room. I'm not worried about offense. We got to defend. We scored enough points tonight to win a game, and our defense was inept at best.
Darvin, after the win over New Orleans, LeBron kind of said that he was dealing with some stuff, feeling under the weather, and kind of gave as much as he could to the team. And today we talked to Troy and Wendy, and they kind of echoed that. Like, he was, giving his best out there. Did you see whatever he was dealing with affect him at all in tonight's game?
Yeah, I mean, when you're not able to function properly, physically, be it a stomach virus or what have you, and I don't know specifically, I believe that's what it was. And it's something that's been going around. But, I mean, you're going to be weak when you can't eat properly or you can't rest comfortably or you're not able to get up and get to the gym and, re-energize yourself via the weight room. Those things are going to happen. But at the end of the day, if you decide to step out there, you better come ready to compete. And they were out there, and we got to compete at a much, much better, higher level, irregardless, because, again, no one's going to feel sorry for us. No one. Especially being a Laker, guys, people coming to play in this building under these lights, they look forward to playing in our building. They look forward to kicking our behinds. And the sooner we realize that, the better. And then it's no excuses. Once you strap and lace them up, it's no excuses.
That was Darvin Ham following a Laker loss, 130 to 116 at Crypto.com Arena. The Lakers are now 2-3 at home, and 0-3 away. Looking now at the current NBA standings, finally got updated. Let's check it out right now for you guys. Here we go. The Lakers now fell to 14th in the Western Conference, just behind the Rockets, who've only won one game in the season with 8 losses. They were terrible last season too. If you look up in the standings, the Lakers aren't too far up from getting back into contention. It's early in the season. A lot of teams are struggling so far. Notably, the Warriors, they're 3-7 right now. Only really one game away from the Lakers. And then the Timberwolves up to the Nuggets, which is 6th to 10th is the area that I think the Lakers are going to finish in. That's where the Lakers want to be. So the Lakers could definitely still have time to get back up there. Again, it's early in the season. It's only about 10 games in per team. So I think eventually the Spurs will probably fall. The Thunder will probably fall down in the standings eventually. It's wishy-washy for the Timberwolves just because of the way that they're playing right now, and Anthony Edwards not getting his touches with Rudy Gobert and the way the floor is spread out. So that's an iffy team to watch out for. Obviously, the Warriors are probably going to go back into probably top 6 eventually. The Kings, I think they'll eventually fall. I think the Lakers will pass them eventually. But ultimately, it just depends what the Lakers do. If they end up keeping their roster that they have right now, or if they need to make some type of change. Whether if it's adding more role players around them, whether if it's shooters, they need to fill their depth down low. Again, with Anthony Davis only really being the real stable big that the Lakers have, at least defensively. We thought we were going to see more, or at least I thought for sure I was going to see more for Damian Jones this season. From what I saw last season when he played his 10-day contracts, he played pretty well for the Lakers and for the Kings. But since he got the bag, he just hasn't really been playing up to par like I would have liked to see. So let's check out Damian Jones's stats over the last few games. Um, let's see. Damian Jones, his game log. Today he only played 2 minutes. Again, like I talked about earlier, he didn't really even have a chance to play today. I would like to see him play at least a little more today and see what he could have done on marketing for sure. But he had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. He was pretty much zeros across the board except for one block. So, and he had a foul. So not too great there, but the game before that, he played 23 minutes with 3 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 11 points against Denver, 4 points, 4 rebounds. I'm mostly wanting looking at rebounds and points for him. So 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 points, 1 rebound. Not that great for him. So definitely need some type of improvement there from him. But now we currently have Lonnie Walker speaking with the media.
They had a lot of second chance points as well. How much did that affect you guys?
A lot. I'm pretty sure like third and offensive rebounds, they crashed the board a lot. So that was a problem. I believe I only had 1 rebound myself. I got to find ways to get more defensive rebounds and help out my teammates. And those second chance points kind of hurted us. They kind of scored a lot off of those. And again, they had a lot of open looks, a lot of great shots. We just got to watch film and grow from it.
The offense was pretty good tonight for you guys. Is that kind of a plus, if anything can be taken from this game?
Absolutely. You know, we always want the good to outweigh the bad, even after our loss. So it's a positive.
A plus, if anything can be taken from this game?
Absolutely. You know, we always want the good to outweigh the bad, even after our loss. So it's a positive. You know, we're more known for our defensive strengths. So for us to be kind of flipping the script and our offense is starting to pick it up, that's good. Now we got to have our defense match our offense.
What was Darvin's message to you guys here tonight?
Effort, staying disciplined, fighting defensive rebounds. You know, we were starting to pick it up a little bit, going in the third and stuff. Found our way, but there's a lot of just easy things that we could have cleaned up as far as, you know, defensive rebounding and help the helper. You know, there's times where they're driving, our help man got to be there, weak side defense got to be there. So just simple cleanups.
Cleveland coming to town on Sunday. Pretty good team out there. How do you slow them down?
We play our game. We're a great defensive team, so we gotta rely on our defense and let our defense transition to the offensive end.
Guys, Lonnie Walker.
All right, guys. That was Lonnie Walker talking following the following post game to the Lakers loss down at Crypto.com Arena. Lonnie Walker tonight. Pull it up for you guys. Lonnie Walker. He played 30 minutes tonight. He had 17 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He shot 50% from the field, 6 for 12, 2 for 3 from the 3-point line tonight. He was -12 in his plus and minus. So most Lakers were negative in the plus and minus department tonight, which is why they ultimately lost. Just a bad game defensively for the Lakers, just like Darvin Ham talked about. Not really worried about the Lakers offense, but saying they have 60,000 points in that locker room. He said the Lakers defense Friday, which gave up 130 points to Utah on 50, 40, 90 shooting, was inept at best. So his ranking for the game tonight in terms of defensively was a F. He said for the first time this season, it was the first time he was very disappointed in the defense. So definitely, again, want to see some improvement there for the Lakers. And with Jared Allen coming into Los Angeles this Sunday, it's going to be interesting to see how the Lakers play against another good NBA big. Talking about Lonnie Walker again, I've been liking what I've been seeing from him the last couple of games also. He had a slow start, but he's been picking it back up. With 7 games with the Lakers, he's currently averaging 16 points per game, 2.3 assists, 3.3 rebounds. He's shooting 43% from the field, almost 30% from the three-point line. So definitely some improvement there. With the last couple of games, he's played 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and 35 minutes, and he's scored 19 points, 28 points, and 18 points off pretty efficient nights too. He shot 50% tonight from the field, shooting 6 for 12. The game before that, he shot 9 for 17, which isn't too bad. October 30th versus Denver, he shot 6 for 14. The last game he didn't really have a good shooting night was against Minnesota, where he shot 3 for 10 and he was 0 for 4 from 3. But every other game he shot 3 for 5 from the 3-point line against Denver, 5 for 9 against the Pelicans, and 2 for 3 against Utah. So the Lakers definitely need to see more 3-point shots fall for Lonnie Walker for sure, for them to have some type of successful season that they're at least hoping for, and for Lonnie Walker as well, who signed for the mid-level exception for the Lakers this season. That was their splash signing this offseason, except for the trade for Patrick Beverley, who's currently making $15 million a year. But speaking of Patrick Beverley, Patrick Beverley was part of the trade for THT. So I kind of want to go over what THT did tonight. So THT, Taylor Horton Tucker, he played 16 minutes tonight. I'm surprised they're not really playing as much as I thought they would. Probably just with the success of the team and their winning ways, they're not trying to tank. So they're probably not just trying to develop all their players. So THT had 16 minutes tonight. He had 7 points, 3 rebounds, and assists, 3 for 7. He went 1 for 2 from the 3-point line. He was plus 10 tonight and plus minus. Keeping up with the trajectory of Taylor Horton Tucker over the last few years with the Lakers, who had really high hopes for him and who kept him, and they didn't want to end up trading him. They could have traded him a couple years ago for a trade for Kyle Lowry, and they didn't want to pull the plug on that because they had a lot of faith in THT. You haven't really seen the development from him, at least in the NBA standpoint, that we wanted to see. I still am a THT fan, so I want to see him do good in Utah. So it's just kind of sad to see that from him. But yeah, he definitely needs to work on his body a little more. I mean, he's bigger, but he looks a little more on the chunky side. So definitely needs to hit the weights a little more, get a little more toned down quicker. THT has these big, huge hands and good handle. He just needs to learn how to play off the ball a little more, and he'll be all right. But yeah, again, looking forward to the Lakers' schedule. They play the Cavaliers next, then they play the Jazz again on the 7th. That's going to be in Utah at 7:15. Then they play the Clippers again, who are struggling a bit, like I showed you in the standings. They're not too far from the Lakers. Then they play the Kings, who are not doing great this season either. The only team in the Western, or not the only team in the Western Conference. The Rockets are the worst right now, but the Kings also another winnable game, and then the Nets, who are also struggling. So if you look at the schedule coming up, the Lakers have been having a really tough schedule. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Lakers finish off the first 10 games. But looking over to the next matchup with Cleveland, they currently rank 6th in points per game right now. They're 27th in pace, so they actually surprisingly play a slow half-court game. Earlier, I talked about how it's kind of going to be an up and down game with the youth, maybe because of how young Cleveland is. Maybe they'll play to the Lakers' pace, but they are currently ranked 27th in pace, so that's kind of surprising. Field goal percentage, they're currently ranked 11th at 46.9%. So they definitely got some shooters on their team. They're shooting 40.4% from the three-point line. So the Lakers really need to do a good job next game of containing the perimeter, which they did a terrible job of today. Like what I talked about, whenever the Lakers would go on a run throughout the game, and it seemed like they come back, Utah would just kill them with the three. So on off-ball defense, the Lakers need to definitely work on containing the three-point line for sure, especially next game. Rebounding, they currently rank 16th, kind of in the middle of the NBA. Not too bad. So the Lakers with them playing Cleveland on Sunday and playing Jared Allen, you definitely want to see Anthony Davis have another great game in terms of rebounding and just production on the defensive end and rebounding for sure. Yeah. So looking at at Cleveland's roster again, they have Donovan Mitchell, they have Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Karis LeVert, and Jared Allen, along with Kevin Love still. They have Robin Lopez on the roster. They have a pretty good roster. They're a legit team coming out of the East this season. I still feel like Boston and Milwaukee are better than them, but definitely a competitor in the East for sure. It's going to be interesting to see this season. Slow start, but if Donovan Mitchell can actually lead a team within the playoffs, he wasn't able to do so with this current Jazz team that the Lakers just played. They tore up they were supposed to be in a rebuild to rebuild the roster up after trading Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert to Minnesota. So definitely going to be interesting to see how Donovan Mitchell does this season over in Cleveland as a leader, and if he could lead this team to some wins. But yeah, looking forward to that. Talking about the Lakers again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Dennis Schroeder comes back for the Lakers. I think he's going to be a really big help defensively on guards. With the Lakers struggling defensively tonight, and they've been playing pretty good defensively so far this season. So I can't go based off just one game, but again, with the how tired LeBron looks on defense, and with Patrick Beverley not really producing the season as we thought he would, with him being the Lakers' second biggest acquisition this offseason. Definitely need some more presence in terms of the backcourt defensively, and I feel like Dennis Schroeder really brings that. And the season after the Lakers won a championship in 2020, when they brought Dennis Schroeder in 2021, he was playing really well for the Lakers. He turned down a 4-year contract for, I believe, like $115 million. Reportedly, he said that the Lakers didn't offer that to him, but he didn't express that during that time when everyone was making fun of him. So I don't know the validity of that, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see what we have when we have a full healthy roster with Dennis Schroeder, and also with Thomas Bryant coming back as well. Talking about the Lakers' depth in terms of down low. Also, the Lakers just aren't great defensively in terms of down low. Anthony Davis can't do it all, so definitely need more help for him in that regard from the center spot. Talking about Miles Turner, we'll see what Rob Pelinka does to fill up this roster. I feel like it's kind of a broken record when I talk about this, but it's a very incomplete roster. And I get in the offseason with the Lakers are doing everything that they can to wait it out with Kevin Durant's decision, and the whole NBA was doing that during the offseason. They wanted to see what was going to happen with KD and Kyrie, and they ended up staying put, and the Lakers didn't end up getting Kyrie, which may have been a good thing possibly, because all the drama right now is happening in Brooklyn with Kyrie and the anti-Semitic stuff. Just sucks to see. I mean, Kyrie's a great player, but everything that's happening behind the scenes, not basketball related, it's really affecting the team. And yeah, I'm just glad that the Lakers aren't dealing with that. It's gonna be surprising to see if the Lakers actually end up making a trade, possibly still for Kyrie. I know that the Lakers' plans in the offseason was to possibly offer Kyrie a contract at the end of the year. There are reports that went out, that Kyrie, um, that he would accept a contract extension with the Lakers this current offseason. So um, I know LeBron still is probably gonna want him because he's won a championship with him, but are all the stuff that goes behind basketball, is that gonna keep up with him if he comes to Los Angeles? It'll be interesting to see. Um, who knows if this is even gonna be his last game playing with the Brooklyn Nets this season. Um, he had a press conference. I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, but he had an opportunity to apologize for some of his comments and not some of the research that he's done or research that he hasn't done. And yeah, they ended up suspending him for 5 games, and he still hasn't apologized. So it's going to be interesting to see how that ends up playing out. And the only reason that's relevant to the Lakers is because this last offseason, the Lakers were the only team that was actually interested in Kyrie still. And with LeBron on the roster and with the relationship that LeBron has had with Kyrie since Cleveland and winning a championship together in 2018, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there for sure. Um, yeah. Um, Looking again at the next game, the Lakers just need to focus on defense, rebounding, and perimeter defense. I feel like the Lakers in the third quarter so far this season, they haven't really been playing well. Tonight, the Lakers, pull it back up for you guys. All right, so here's the stats again for tonight's game. In the third quarter tonight, the Lakers actually beat Utah 33-25, but literally every other quarter, the Lakers lost tonight. As you could see within the first half, like what I talked about earlier in the show, the Lakers gave up 75 points for the first half, which they cannot give up. So definitely don't want to see that. But now at the press, we currently have LeBron James.
But I'll be fine. I'll be ready for Sunday afternoon, and we move forward. But happy birthday, by the way. 21?
Oh.
I didn't bring the low bus with me tonight. I apologize. I haven't drank all week, so next time we have one, we take a shot.
Appreciate it. Deal. It's probably the first game that you guys haven't had that kind of early defensive energy. When you notice that that's happening, is it difficult to change that within the context of one night?
It is. I mean, especially when you hang your hats on the defensive end. I mean, there's going to be some. We don't never want it to happen, but there's some games throughout the course of 82 season game where you obviously you just don't have it defensively, and we didn't have it. For 48 minutes, we had it in spurts. But we know in order for us to win, we got to defend. And tonight I think we had a 50, 40, 90 offensive night, and we still lost. So that's why I was talking earlier in the season about it's not about the offense. We have to defend, and obviously we got to make shots. But if we defend, we're gonna give ourselves a better chance to win. And tonight, even though when we cut the lead down to 2, we made that good push. We was always playing uphill, But give credit to Utah. That was a very well orchestrated team. They got a lot of very just solid good cerebral IQ basketball players on the floor, and I got a lot of them.
LeBron, Darvin was talking about this team beforehand, sort of comparing it to sort of in makeup his Atlanta teams that didn't really have like one leading guy. Is it hard for the defense to kind of key in on what you have to do when there is, not a headliner, so to speak, or a head of the snake?
No, I think if you go into the game thinking that way, then you will definitely get burned. We know what they're capable of doing. We know Mike Conley can catch fire. Obviously, we know JC has been a burner since he came into this league. Laurie has been playing great basketball this year. Played great basketball in Chicago and in Cleveland as well. Kelly O can play good basketball. Had a game winner in New Orleans earlier in the season. Colin was on the verge of being an all-star in the Eastern Conference at one point before the injury, and so on and so on. They just keep bringing in more and more talent. So you respect guys that no matter who's out on the floor, no matter what their resume speaks for itself. But when you're an NBA player, you gotta be ready for everything. And tonight they gave us everything, and they made some. They was knocking down shots. They was moving the ball, sharing the ball. They was playing with speed, playing with pace. Kept us on our heels throughout the 48-minute game.
LeBron, sort of, this relates to what I'm going to ask you. Virally, I guess, how are you feeling right now? I know you said, I think you've basically been in bed since Sunday. Have you been able to turn any corners on that front?
Felt a little bit better today than I did on Wednesday. And hopefully, if I continue to improve over the last 48 hours, going forward, or probably less than that, obviously, because it was 12:30 start on Sunday. But if I can improve over the next 36 hours, then I'll feel a lot much better, too. I feel like my color is coming back. I feel more like pale and just, not have much energy at all. Not quite to 100%, but definitely almost there.
You feel, I'm sure that shows up in a lot of different ways on the court. I think you've missed your last 13 threes, last two games. Are you feeling it in your legs?
Yeah, I think from the moment that I just haven't had my rhythm. I lost my rhythm, when, I kind of hate this bug. Not only the threes, a couple of the layups has been short around the rim, so, just feel like my rhythm just been off. I haven't had an opportunity to, get on the practice floor because I've been kind of not only told to stay away, but advised to stay away to kind of save my energy for the games. But looking forward to getting back into our practice facility so I can get get my shots that I'm of course used to doing in between games.
LeBron, we haven't heard much from players around the league this week about Kyrie Irving's social media posts and subsequent comments. I was just curious, why do you think that is, considering this league is so socially conscious?
I'm not sure. If you want to ask me a question, you can ask me. I can't speak for 449 players.
Sure. Certainly your position, you've been in the position in the past to speak for the league. I can tell you this. It's simple. Me personally, I don't condone any hate to any kind, to any race, to Jewish communities, to black communities, to Asian communities. You guys know where I stand, and it's part of the reason why I didn't air the Shop episode, why we kicked that, out of the archives, because it was hate conversation going on there, and I don't represent that. There's no place in this world for it. Nobody can benefit from that, and I believe what Kyrie did caused some harm to a lot of people, and he has since over the last, I think today or was it yesterday, he apologized, but he caused some harm, and I think it's unfortunate, but I don't stand on the position to harm people when it comes to your voice or your platform or anything. And so it doesn't matter what color your skin is, how tall you are, what position you are in. If you are promoting or soliciting or saying harmful things to any community that harm people,
then I don't respect it. I don't condone it.
Considering you do identify that his actions as being harmful to people, what do you believe could be a resolution for him to get past the current suspensions that he has with the Nets and Nike?
I don't know. Because at the end of the day, Kyrie is his own man. He stands up in front of the media and speaks. He is a man. He has a great family. I mean, I love the kid. Well, he's not even a kid anymore. He's 30. He just said that the other day in his presser. I was like, it's insane. I don't know the direction, the steps that he take. But he's apologized for what he said. And I hope that he understands that what he said was harmful to a lot of people. We as humans, none of us are perfect, but I hope he understands how, what he did or the actions that he took was just harmful to a lot of people. I really didn't get into it too much, but I understand that when you hurting anybody, I understand that. That is just common sense.
Last two.
LeBron, sticking with the theme of social consciousness, you've been very vocal about civic engagement, and the league is actually shutting down games on Tuesday to encourage voting. Why do you think, in your opinion, it's actually necessary to do that?
I think from the black community, and obviously our league is predominantly black athletes, black players, black men. Our community, we talk and speak about change a lot. So in order to have change, we have to get out and actually put our mouths and put our hands and put our pens or pencils to the polls. And it can start in your community, and then it starts in the city, and then out to the state, and then all the way, out the country. We have an opportunity to be able to say that you done your due diligence to try to help create change in your community. We've been oppressed for so long. Obviously, I had the More Than a Vote initiative when we was in the bubble. I was very active with that, and our so many musicians and athletes and leaders was able to come on board with us. But we've been oppressed for so long. They've told us we couldn't vote. They told our women, our black women, they weren't allowed to vote for so many years, and but they continue to reprimand us or do things to us in our community that harm us and harm our family, and we sit here and wonder why or what's going on. So I think it's very important that you get educated about what's going on, who is your local people are that's going to be making decisions in your community, making decisions that could affect you, could affect your family, could affect your school districts and things of that nature. Because it's important. I know we, as black people, sometimes we don't believe that our vote counts. We don't believe that it matters. And I can just say black people because I just know my people. I can't speak for everybody. I just know how we are. But it does matter. And, and we saw a change when, we wanted to get someone out of office. I hope people take it serious.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, LeBron, kind of to Dave's point, you have a platform built on sort of more than an athlete as its underlying premise. I'm curious, how have you seen the seriousness that people have taken that as they've waded into other waters? And I'm curious if you've evolved in sort of, when it comes to things like social media and stuff like that, in terms of, like, yes, this is something I want to talk about or address, and maybe this is something I don't want to talk about or address.
I think you guys have grown to know me over the last few years that I've been a part of this organization, and Dave has known me a little bit longer, trying to look around. Okay, that's it. I speak about things that kind of hit home for me. That comes from my heart, comes from my gut. Things that I believe in, things that I'm passionate about. Or some things that just hit me and I just know that it's just wrong. I definitely have, common sense, and I know the difference between right and wrong. And so with more than an athlete, obviously it's getting legs that that I didn't even think that it was going to create. Because I was literally talking about me and my situation and what I had going on with some lady on some station on television. So I was speaking from me that I'm more than an athlete, and what I do and what I talk about and what I represent, not only just on the court, obviously, but off the floor as well. So I don't know. It kind of just it kind of all depends. I mean, everyone's not going to agree with everything that you talk about. I've literally muted like 25, 35 people on my Twitter account over the last week because I've been sitting in bed, so I've been able to look at a lot of people just saying harmful things. So I've just been hitting the mute button on a lot of people. I've never done that. It's actually pretty fun. So I got like 2 more days to be in the bed before I become myself again. So if you got something harmful to say, you will be muted and I won't see it. It's just, I don't know. It's just if it feels right, if my people are calling for me to sometimes say something because they need a voice, they need a platform, then I'm there for them. All right, appreciate it.
That was LeBron following the loss to the Utah Jazz, 130 to 116. LeBron pointing out again that like all the other Lakers are pointing out tonight that they nearly had a 50-40-90 night, shooting 48.2% on field goals, 42.3% from threes, 89.3% from free throws, but they still lost. Showing the importance of them needing to play defense, which they are ranked number 2 in the league right now. Also, LeBron addressing some social issues, again, with Kyrie, what I talked about right before. He went to talk to the media and speaking out on voting. So definitely go out and vote on Tuesday. Your vote matters. Also, just want to talk lastly just about the scores today. So today the Cavs beat the Pistons 112 to 88. No surprise there. The Knicks beat the Sixers 106 to 104. That was a surprising game. The Knicks have came out looking pretty well this season. They're currently the best team in New York behind Brooklyn, which is pretty surprising. The Pacers beat the Heat tonight, and I know a lot of Laker fans are looking at the Pacers right now and how they're currently playing. Let's check out their stats tonight. For the Pacers, Miles Turner, he had 7 points with 31 minutes, 1 assist with 16 points. Buddy Hield, another person that has been rumored to be possibly in a Laker trade for Russell Westbrook. He played 40 minutes tonight. He had 9 rebounds, no assists. He had 25 points. So everyone keeping their eye on Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. That's the stats that they had for today's game. Looking at the Nets and Wizards, the Nets pulled it out tonight against the Wizards, 128 to 86. The Celtics beat the Bulls tonight, 123-119. The Clippers beat the Spurs tonight, 113 to 106. A lot of games in the NBA tonight. The Grizzlies beat the Hornets, 130 to 99. The Mavs snuck by the Raptors in a close one, 111 to 110. The Pelicans beat the struggling Warriors tonight, 114 to 105. The Bucks beat the Timberwolves, 115 to 102. The Blazers beat the Suns tonight, 108-106. The Blazers are pretty hot right now to start off the season. And then the Jazz beat the Lakers, 130 to 116. So, again, Laker fans, the Lakers' next game is going to be against the Cleveland Cavaliers on November 6th at 12:30. Make sure to check it out on Spectrum Sportsnet or NBA League Pass or wherever you guys are currently watching the game online, wherever you guys are getting your games from. And make sure to follow up postgame. I'll also be doing a live postgame show after Cleveland versus the Lakers.